Soldiers lead the way.
Alright, this is Guardmankb here. Today's video I'm going to be giving some of the most common underused tactics for Modern Warfare 2. It's just that a lot of these tactics are really helpful, and I just seen them throughout the matches. They don't happen as much. Alright, the first one we're going to be talking about. Alright, everyone knows that camping seems to be a big issue with Modern Warfare 2. The thing is, though, it can be mitigated to a degree. I mean, if you've played the first Modern Warfare, then you're all too familiar with the occasional enemy sniper that has set up. The thing is, though, you can really take care of these guys pretty easily. I use it all the time to get rid of them. I use what I call my bunker busters. I always like to have two of them. Usually a frag grenade and the AT4. As you're going to see here with that AT4 shot, it's a perfect example. That's why I'm using this video, mainly because it gives some good visuals to what I'm talking about. The frag grenade, as obvious, you know, you can throw it up into a window grenade, you take out sniper freaking camper. I like the AT4 a lot better, though. That's why I use it as my primary launcher, because unlike the Stinger, you can free fire the AT4, and the AT4 also has some lock-on. I admit it doesn't have as much damage compared to the Stinger, but you can still use it for anti-air purposes. So I'm saying with the AT4, you can shoot it into the windows like you saw in that last clip, and then you can take out snipers like cake with that. Alright, the next tactic is probably, I'm going to go with the room clearing tactics. Now, the thing is, again, it kind of applies into camping, but not so much, just a bit. A lot of people get taken out is because when they go inside buildings, there's the camper or whoever is just sitting there in the corner just waiting for you to run by them. Now, the thing is, if you go and sweep each corner if you enter a building, then for the most part you'll be able to take them out. Instead of getting that one death in the game, you'll perhaps pick up a kill and you help out your team. It's pretty easy for the most part. I don't think you really have to explain it. You just go into the building and you hit every corner as you enter the room. It's pretty common stuff. Let's see, the next tactic I'd say is the hip firing. Now, a lot of people don't really like hip firing for the most part because obviously, especially in hardcore team deathmatch here, you don't have a crosshair and your bullets aren't as accurate. That may be true. However, if you use steady aim, or I think it's steady fire in Modern Warfare 2, either way, you get what I'm saying. You can pick up a lot of kills with that because, for the most part, I'd say 90% of players, when they're in the game and firing, the first thing they're going to do when they see an enemy is bring up their sights to get a more accurate shot. That's a valid reason to do so. I mean, I can't blame them. However, in close quarters, like that, you see right there, hip firing can be a hell of a lot better than bringing up the sight. Mainly because you got to think about this. When you're bringing up the sight, that takes you about, I think, a half a second at most. If you don't bring up the sight and you hip fire with close range, then you're going to have that half-second advantage on that enemy, and that means you're going to pick up the kill where that way he won't get you. Because if both of you are going to pull up sights, then it's going to be whoever gets the hit on first. Imagine this. Anyway, the next tactic would probably be air support, or taking it out for that matter. I've noticed throughout a lot of matches that, you know, especially the complainers, the guys who are always bitching about the helicopters and the Harriers or wherever, they just don't take it out. And you've seen right there how easy it is to take out a helicopter. Alright, as before, the AT4 doesn't exactly blow it out of the sky in one shot, but it definitely takes a Hind or the Cobra down to ready to die. Compared with, if you have a Stinger, you'd be able to drop it in one. But even then, guys just won't take it out. They'll just stand around and complain that the air support is killing them, and it's so easy to take out. I recommend, or even yell at people why don't you have a freaking a rocket launcher, an anti-air rocket launcher, like either RPG, AT4, Stinger, Javelin, something to hit the air to get that shit out of the sky. I admit, okay, the Apaches, the AC-130s, and the Pavelos are a hell of a lot harder to take out because they have countermeasures. But even then, you can beat those too. Because if you fire, you really have to coordinate with your team, especially with AC-130s. But if you fire at the same time, the enemy aircraft can only launch out one set of flares. It can't do two in quick succession to get two rockets or missiles off of it. So if you coordinate with your team a bit, then you'll be able to actually take down the aircraft. Pavelos are not that hard to take down. It's the same thing with what are the AC-130s and Apaches. You can drop those guys, no problem. Let's see. Next tactic, I would probably say would be the communication. One thing, a deal with the big complainers and the bitchers and gripes you hear throughout Xbox Live is that, oh, my team sucked, I lost because my team couldn't play well. Well, the thing is, those people who are complaining that their team didn't do well are just as much part of the problem as the guys who aren't shooting well. The thing is, communication is key, especially in, hence the game title, Hardcore Team Deathmatch, or just regular Team Deathmatch. Team effort. You work together, actually, say a little something like, alright, sometimes the maps are big, you can't really give a pinpoint position just by yelling it out, but, say, okay, hey, I'm in the middle, plus that can save your guys' lives too, because if some guy's trying to drop an airstrike, and he just throws it out, you'd say, hey, I'm dropping an airstrike in the freaking middle of the map, don't go there so you don't get bombed. It's such a common thing, and instead of yelling at people at the end of the match, how about, stay with them or throughout the game, like, watch over them. I'm not saying you have to babysit them, but freaking, protect them or take out people for them or something like that. It's that freaking simple. I mean, that and your anger, if you're pissed off during the game because of your teammates, well, then you're not going to do as well, because the anger is going to cloud your head and you just won't know what the fuck to do, because you're going to be running around like an idiot, all pissed off, your shooting is going to be off, and that and your good time's going to be ruined. That's why you played a video game in the first place, right? Exactly. I think the last tactic would be the radar. Now, a lot of people don't realize that even though you don't have a UAV, you can still find out people's positions with the radar. You still do have a radar even though there's no UAV up. How that works, what you do, that start button? Well, all you gotta do with that, hit the start button and you'll see that a map pops up. You'll see all of your friends' positions, and if enemies are shooting, then you're gonna see them pop up on the map too, because, unless they have silencers or cold-blooded, of course. It's just these really common misused, but underused tactics, they probably would make a lot of difference in the games, even if there are campers. It's just going to go that much better. They're not going to have time to freaking do that shit. Or, I'm not saying time, I'm saying you're going to be able to stop them from that stuff, and your kills are going to be way higher than your deaths for once. Not much really else to say. I'm just going to end the narration here. I'll keep the video going to watch the rest of my match here if you want, but yeah, as before, I only put the video gameplay in here just to give you some visuals to my example of the tactics that are underused but very well should be used. I'm Guardmankb, and have a good one, guys.
Time's almost up! Throwing a stun grenade! Target neutralized! Enemy care package incoming.